All right, Ben is with us, and Ben's going to give us an update on what this government shutdown means to what's happening with regard to loans. So I'm sharing an email that has some information just so you guys can see it, and Ben can kind of walk us through it. Ben, I know it might be hard for you to see on your phone, but I'm sure you have all this memorized anyways, word for word, right? So you can just tell.
Doug, I can't lie to you and tell you I do. And I won't bore you with all the bullet points. I mean, you've got them in front of you. You know what I mean? So I wanted to send that email out to you all yesterday just to get ahead of things. We don't know how long this thing's going to last, right? So just to be prepared. The big thing that I'm going through right now with a couple of my loans is USDA. If you have a file that is being underwritten USDA right now and it has not been sent to USDA for the commitment, they're not going to do it. You can submit the file and get in line, but they are absolutely not approving and stamping any USDA loans right now for commitment. So that's going to be delayed. So if you got anything like that going, just check your pipelines, maybe get with that lender and get with your buyer and seller. There are a couple of other options that people can use loan product wise. FHA is still a go, VA is still a go, all that stuff, but USDA has really been affected by this. And also your flood insurance. Good luck getting flood insurance right now. It's just not going to happen until this stuff gets worked out. So those are the two really big keys that I really think are vitally important right now about the shutdown as far as lending and real estate go.
You guys get all that?
Does anybody have any questions?
I've got a brief question.
Sure.
Ben, what's my understanding, and I'll be honest, I don't do a lot of USDA because most of the area up here is not USDA eligible. I don't do a whole lot of VA, especially like they do at the coast, closer to obviously, Camp Geiger and Cape Lejeune. Why is it that USDA is more of a problem than FHA, VA? Because from the periphery, I hear a government loan, I think it would all be problematic.
Well, so for example, there's as a lender and a lending institution, you're delegated the responsibility of underwriting FHA, VA, USDA to guideline standards. VA and FHA do not require you to send those files to those organizations or institutions for approval. USDA does. They'll delegate us to underwrite per guidelines, but when we submit the file to them, it's got to be clear to close. If not, they're going to kick it back. So we get a clear to close file to submit to USDA for their stamp. So that's all it is. It's simply a formality of them rubber stamping it and saying, hey, we're good to go. Where FHA and VA, you don't have to go through that.
Okay. Thanks for explaining that, because I didn't get that, but that makes total sense. Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, Ben.
Yes,
Ben,
ma'am.
this is Ellen.
Hey, Ellen.
Question for you. So National Flood Program obviously is through the government. There are other companies, carriers like Neptune, a couple of others that are private. I would imagine those are still a go. In fact, I was checking with my insurance guy, and he said he's writing it still, and he's no blocks whatsoever. So it might be an option.
Then that's definitely a great alternative. I would explore that. I don't know how much more those premiums are.
They're actually less.
They're actually less. Then I would be referring that all day long.
Yeah, Neptune's a great company, guys. They just started writing here at the coast. I'm not sure if they're up there in Raleigh, but I can check and send it out to you. So whoever you're using for insurance, and if you're stuck in a national product, just tell them, hey, go to private carriers.
Is that just home and flood?
Flood. Neptune is a flood carrier only, not home. Flood on the home, that should say. Yes.
Gotcha.
Don't do a regular HO3 or HO6 or any of that. They just do the flood policy. So just like the national program, it's just under a different carrier.
If any of you run into a roadblock with flood for an existing deal because of the shutdown, because they're going a government program, get with Neptune or ask Ellen who to reach out to, so that doesn't hold you up. Unfortunately, if there's USDA, it's just going to be on hold. So it's either flip them to a different product, I guess, if that's possible, in the interest of time, if it's necessary, or just prepare everybody. And if you're representing the buyer and you're under contract and it's going to be held up, you need to get with the listing agent right away and just be like, hey, this is kind of where we are. And then maybe you work out a possession before closing. If that's possibility to hold the deal together, or again explore a different loan product, right? If it's just not going to work out otherwise. And if you're representing a seller now, and you get one of those offers, that needs to set off a light bulb. Not that there's anything wrong with that type of loan and that you should discriminate against that type of loan. Absolutely not. But you need to be aware that, you know, unless they're planning for a very extended closing, that it's probably not going to close in typical time frame as we would usually expect, and be able to give that advice so you don't get 3 weeks into the process and then get sidewalk. What, you know what I mean? Anything else?
That's really all I got. I mean, again, you've got the other list in front of you, just the kind of the what ifs and what can happen. So just you know, just stay knowledgeable on it, guys. And I'll touch base with Doug to relay messages to you all, or just reach out to me privately if you want. But we'll just keep you up to date with what's going on in the lending world as it pertains to this stuff, and hopefully it'll be over soon.
Okay. All right, great. Well, thanks for jumping on, Ben. I appreciate you stepping out to give us an update.
My pleasure, guys. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
See you later, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Hey, real quick, everybody, I'm going to forward this email from Ben just so you can read through it and see the details that are in there, and then share if you've got a USDA client or you got a seller who might be in a USDA area. So just be aware of that, just to disseminate the information for you. I'll send that out here in just a minute when we get off the call. So